This is part 2 of my series on a shortcut to Aikido, and really what I'm showing you today is quite dangerous, so it's really just for demonstration purposes only, but this is all about the kinetic chain, a feeling of movement through the bone structure. And what I'm doing here with my friend is just loosening up his arms, trying to feel the joints in his arms, and he's trying to relax and let me feel the flow. Now what I'm doing here is one hand at a time, trying to get him to feel it also, each joint in sequence, and I've got to feel it. Now the application of this in martial arts is essentially a whip. I've got to create a flow through the joints. See, what I'm doing here is feeling his joints and controlling at the moment the wrist. So I'm doing a little flick to his wrist, like a whip down the arm, and again I've got to be very careful, so I'm doing this gently. And bear in mind, he's recovering from a stroke, and this is his stroke arm, so I've got to be very careful, but he can feel it, so I'm checking with him. He felt it in the wrist. Now from the wrist, you see, I've got to go up to the elbow. So I've got to do the same whip, flow through the bones, and he feel a little click on the elbow. So this is tricky to do. I've got to feel it, and now we're going to the shoulder. So through the whole arm, through the wrist, the elbow, all the way to the shoulder, I'm creating a little whip, such that I can feel it and just pop the shoulder. Now, the old Kung Fu masters would do this. This was called bone setting. So they would also train the healing purposes of this. So that was also healing. This is how you can release the arm. It's the same like chiropractic or osteopath. But this is martial arts. Now you can see I'm going a bit further up, creating a whip down to up to his neck. So from the wrist through the elbow to the shoulder to the neck. This is essentially whiplash. So very, very dangerous to do. So like I'm saying, this is for demonstration purposes only, but you can understand the kinetic chain, how it works. And I've got to pull him downwards. This is also part of the key. Pull the person straight down to the floor. Now if you can control the joints in sequence, they have to move. If you lose control of the joints, they don't move, they can resist. So this is what this feeling is about. I'm feeling all the way through down to the hip now. So again, if I can release the whip, control the whip all the way through to the hip, I can make him move. Now he's trying on me. You can see a bit more a wave. So I'm trying to relax and he's creating a wave. And he could do a little bit harder, and I trust him to do so. And I also have control of my body to some degree. So this is why I don't recommend you copy this. You can hurt each other doing this. But you can see the wave, the whip going through, and actually he's got my fingers. So I've got one more joint at the fingers as well. So he can pop me all the way from the fingers up to the shoulder. And he's got to be careful he doesn't go to the neck. That's when you get injury, which is what we're trying to do in martial arts. So he's got to go all the way down like this to feel the whip at the end. There, he got it. So I could feel it. So that's what I tell him. I could feel the whip going all the way up there, pop to the shoulder. And in fact, he went a little bit up to my neck. There's an actual kinetic chain, a flow. There it is again. Click to here. So he's got to basically throw a whip. He's using my body like a whip and throwing through the whip. But you can do this yourself. This we can practice. See, I'm just flopping down my arms, relaxing the wrist, letting the wrist and the elbow pop. So now I'm flicking out at the elbow in a forward direction to release, pop the elbow. Now even the shoulders. I'm moving the shoulders, flicking forward through a relaxed arms, but it's going through the bone structure. I'm actually getting a little click through the bones, and you can feel it throw through the bones. So now what I'm doing here, this internal power striking, is not so much a strike as a flow of movement through the bone structure. And interestingly, in internal Kung Fu, this is called shadow hand, or no shadow hand, or shadowless hand. It's a very loose strike all the way to the fingertips. Very mysterious internal Kung Fu. Not many people know about that one. But it's essentially the control of the kinetic chain inside your own body through the bone structure. Now controlling the neck. So you can see why this is very dangerous. See, I want to control the neck by leverage. All the joints must be leverage. I don't pull him forward. I've got to pull him down to pivot at the neck. I've got to feel the control. If I can control at the pivot and go straight down, I'm controlling the kinetic chain from the neck into the spine. Here I'm pulling forward. He can resist. He's not pulling forward. I've got to leverage. I've got to create leverage at the joint. This is the secret to Aikido. And usually, of course, it's just the wrist or the elbow. The elbow is the easiest, but we're going to work through all the joints. So you can practice on me now. You can actually grab the hair. You see I'm grabbing the hair. If someone's got hair and you've got to take them straight down, no messing about, you do this. But again, I do not recommend this. Dangerous, dangerous training. You can see it with us just for demonstration. But look at the leverage. He's pushing my chin into my chest. Now he's just pushing down, but he's got a lever. If you can lever at the neck, it will take the spine and I have to go down. It's all about feeling the leverage and what is the biting point. It also works up. So I can push him up, but it's not up. I want to lever at the neck. So I'm levering his neck up, back and down. See, that was just up. That's not the same. I've got to lever across and feel it. Now it goes down. I'm actually pushing down. So I've got to create the layer. Here you can do it on me. You can see a bit clearer. See, that is just up. There, now you can see I'm leveraged and he's got to go down. If you can do that, you will control the kinetic chain from the neck through the spine, and it's very easy to control the opponent. They're up and then down. But as you can see, dangerous. Now again, in reality, people will not be compliant. We're doing this with compliance so that you can feel it. We can feel it. Same with the side. And the same with Aikido is done with compliance, but the idea is you can feel it and safely go through it without hurting the other person. In reality, this is going to hurt the other person. So not recommended, but this is final resort self-defense, very effective. Now he's going sideways. You see I've got a lever, he's got to lever my neck sideways, not pushing my head to the side. He's got a lever at the joint, there levering sideways. Forward and back sideways. Now, very important, we just release the neck afterwards, roll the shoulders and relax. Make sure there's no residual tension, no pain in the joints. So now imagine we're fighting and we're trying to go to this control. So the next one, the final one for the neck, is twisting the neck. So it's the same business. I'm taking the chin and twisting it to the side straight away. But I've got to control the movement. I've got to twist the neck, and then you can see here the twist will go down the spine to the hip. I'm actually taking control of the opponent's kinetic chain, his skeleton bone structure. So it won't work if I just push to the side. I have to twist to the side. I've got to know what I'm doing. Feel the biting point in the neck. Here bending backwards, you can see bending backwards, it will go to the spine, then it will go to the hips, and he has to go down. So it's the same principle, and you have to be, of course, very, very careful. But if you're expert at this, that's fast. If you do this very fast, of course, you might break it, which we don't want to do. Hence, this is very dangerous. But that, of course, moves to a choke, takedown choke. Now, here's the next thing. This is how to resist. You see, we're compliant. Now I'm twisting. But we don't be compliant. The secret is to lock up your own kinetic chain so that you are not compliant. So that's what I'm telling him now. He's got to squeeze a fist, lock the elbow, lock the shoulder. Now I'm trying to twist his fist. I'm trying to twist it one way, bend it one way, straighten it one way, and he is resisting. And you're practicing to lock up the entire arm, the kinetic chain, the tendons. Squeeze the fist, lock out the elbow tendons, hold the shoulder up and back. Now you see locked out the elbow, not lock it out, bend it slightly to control it. Now I'm twisting, bending, and I can't move him. Same principle, I'm trying to control his elbow. So I want to break his elbow like this, lock it, but he's got to resist. So he bends it, activates the tendons, squeeze the fist, activate the shoulder, and now I'm trying to straighten his elbow, but I can't. Now again, it's very important to understand this. He's locking up the entire structure. Shoulder, elbow, fist, wrist. Entire thing, not just one muscle. Now I'm trying to turn his elbow. See, I want to turn it that way. Now, and he's got to do the same thing. Lock up the tendons, and I'm trying to turn it. So I can't turn it. Same the other way, trying to push it in this way. He's compliant. Now he's got to lock it. So he's not compliant. Hold the shoulder up and back. So you're locking the rib cage, the scapula, the elbow and the wrist. Squeeze the fist tight. That will take it all the way down the forearm tendons. So that is how we resist. And when you get good at this, you just squeeze a fist when you feel the person trying to twist your joints or bend your elbow. Lock up, twist, rather lock it up into a position and do not let them twist you. Now, of course, I'm just releasing his arm because that is his bad arm for the stroke. But I hope this made sense. Again, just for demonstration only. Please do leave any questions or comments, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.